Hi Capricorn, this is your March 2015 horoscope with me, Lada from astrolada.com, and this is for everyone who has their ascendant, sun or moon in Capricorn. What does March bring? Well, first of all, your planet, Saturn. Saturn rules Capricorns, especially if your ascendant is in Capricorn. To a lesser degree, the sun or moon, but Saturn becomes the lord of your life. So Saturn is you, and Saturn is gonna be stopping in the sky and will start moving backwards. We call this retrograde motion, which means that I'm not saying that your life is going to stop and move backwards. That sounds really bad. But Saturn gets retrograde every year for about 5-6 months. And now it will be retrograde from March till August. But it's kind of for Saturn, for Capricorn people, they tend to feel it strongly because Saturn is them, is their planet. So this is like a period from around March to August where you slow down a bit, where you've taken on new responsibilities till March. And those new responsibilities, now you have to work on them. Now you have to really master those responsibilities. Now you have to, when your planet Saturn moves forward, you move forward as well. Like you take on new tasks, new duties, new karmic obligations. And then when Saturn starts moving backwards, you consolidate those. You kind of introvert inside and you kind of try to integrate them within yourself, those new lessons that you've been having, those new progress that you've made in the past few months, those new duties that you've taken and responsibilities. So it's kind of, it doesn't mean that your life stops, not at all, but it's more kind of, it slows down a little bit and you're required to put a bit more extra effort into those things, into repeating things a few times. And Capricorn being ruled by Saturn, Capricorn's progress in life in such steps together with Saturn. Saturn is the slowest moving planet. So for a few months each year, they kind of, Capricorns grow, and then there is like expansion. When Saturn starts moving backwards, they kind of do revision of the things they've learned. They have to redo them a few times before they become masterful. Saturn moves slowly. In the same way, Capricorns, their life progresses more slowly than on other people. Their achievements, they're kind of like late bloomers, so they need more time to reevaluate, to internalize those new lessons. And this is what happens when Saturn gets retrograde. This is what Capricorns do. But just like Saturn, once Saturn has learned its lessons, even though it learns it's slower than anyone else, it progresses slower than any other planet. So Capricorn, but Saturn, once the lessons are learned, they become so solid. They become so solid and stable on their path. And in the same way, Capricorns, after the period of retrogression of their planet, Saturn, they've internalized those lessons. They've taken on more duties. They've mastered them. They've put extra effort while Saturn was, retrograde to make sure they're working well. And then when Saturn starts moving forwards again, it's as if they've, whatever they've acquired and whatever they integrated and made part of their life in regards to responsibilities, duties, work, which is all Saturn things, patience, endurance, they kind of becomes like a steel armor around them. There is no taking it from Capricorns after that. So we should actually, Capricorn should be happy with those moments because this is what makes them so hard, so strong, so successful later in life. And no other signs has this, this slowest moving planet lessons like Capricorns do, but no other signs has the lasting strength that Capricorn has either. And this is what you'll be doing. So anyway, I run away with those things, but let's go back specifically to March. What should be, so I told you Saturn repeating some lessons that you've learned recently, some things that you started recently, you'll be repeating them, redoing them, making sure you put your best efforts till August, that they become more demanding, more effort, more maturity is required there, more integration. But after that, you see the results after August and you're very satisfied. And you say, wow, it was worth it, all this effort. And even if things slowed down, it was worth it. Now I see the results. What else is being triggered for Capricorns? Well, Capricorn, this month, in March in particular, has a very strong trigger for manifestation in their 4th house. And 4th house rules property, rules home, rules family. And it's a positive manifestation, though. So some Capricorns might move to live to a better place. Some Capricorns might find a property if they've been looking. Some Capricorns might be able to sell a property if they've been looking. Some Capricorns might be decorating a property. Some Capricorns might be finding a flatmate to live with. So some Capricorn might manifest in something positive from their family. Family members. Something good can happen overall for their family. Sometimes it can be even like new member coming into the family. Sometimes it can be solving a family problem or conflict, being able to resolve it, because as we said, the planets that trigger your 4th house Capricorn now in March are positive manifesting planets. Sorry about that. So you can be able to fix problems at home with close people, close environment, with your mother as well. Something good can happen into the life of your mom. Some of you might be revisiting your parents. Some of you might be getting in touch with your parents. Some of you might be, I don't know, anything which is connected to home, to property, to land, to family, to roots, to family members, to emotional well-being as well. And vehicles. 4th house rules cars and vehicles. It might be a triggering manifesting period for something, maybe buying a vehicle, selling it, or upgrading it in some way. 4th house rules emotional well-being, emotional happiness. So there might be like a resolution of some psychological issue within you, because 4th house rules our childhood, rules our past, and where there might be locked pain, so you might be able to unlock it in some way or relieve some of the pain connected to the past. Okay, or to the mother sometimes. So this is the important things that are happening. There is a little bit of stress for you Capricorns, though. There is, because there is a difficult aspect that's happening in the sky, and this is the Uranus-Pluto square, and it's happening in Capricorn. So Capricorn will feel the reverberations of this cosmic war, as we call it in astrology, because it's a hard aspect. And it's happening around the 15th degree of Capricorn, which means anyone who have their ascendant, sun or moon, around 13, 14, 15, 16, even up to 17 degrees, they can feel, they can be they can feel this cosmic storm, so to speak. And basically it means if you are born from, I would say, from around the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, maybe up to the 8th, but maybe the strongest is 5th and 6th and 7th. People born on this January, or basically who have ascendant or moon around the 15th degree, plus minus a degree or two of Capricorn, they would feel this stress that happens to them. And the stress can be also connected to issues with the family and to issues of, because the stressful aspect is coming from a planet in your 4th house, but it gets resolved in a positive way. And there might be like a big transformation, psychological transformation. If you're born around those days or those degrees, there might be something that's really pressing your buttons, that creates a crisis situation in your life, like a total reversal, a transformation in your life in a big way now in March, but which kind of almost has a relieving, almost like it's been building up, and now it bursts, and it's the final kind of conclusion of transformations that needed to happen in your life. And this is the final one that totally turns your life around, or sets you, and finally sets you on a path. From now on, whatever changes now in March for Capricorns, especially Capricorn ascendant, sun, moon, born within the middle, in the middle degrees that we mentioned, whatever changes in their life now, this is something that will stay changed for life, something that will totally, will not come back, something that will, whatever path, it's like a derailing of a train now. And this derailing of a train will take the train to a completely different direction. And whatever's left behind, it's left behind, it's irretrievable. But it can be also very releasing influence, it's like the final declaration has happened. There is no more drama after that, in a sense. But they can be a peak moment for those of you born around that. All the others, they're, you know, things are not so. Things are more kind of peaceful in a sense. But for the middle-born Capricorns, they have to be careful, but at the same time, there is like a support coming to them from Jupiter, and Jupiter is sending good aspects. So it's kind of this difficult configuration that's happening will be protected. So whatever the turnout is, it will have a silver lining in a sense, and the situation will be able to get salvaged or managed in a positive way for them. So thank you very much, Capricorn, and I will see you next month.